Magandang araw! Ako po si Adrian Viveral, grade 9 student sa Don Mariano Marcos National High School. Natutulungan po ako ng Radyo Eskwela sa aking pag-aaral sa pamamagitan ng napapadali po nito ang aking pag-aaral at pag-iintindi sa mga aralin. Hindi na rin po ako nahihirapan sa pagsasagot sa mga gawain. Minsan po ay mahirap intindihin ang mga aralin ng mag-isa, ngunit dahil sa Radyo Eskwela, may mga guro na pong nagpapaliwanag dito. Sa tuwing nakikinig po ako sa Radyo Eskwela, pakiramdam ko po ay nasa paaralan ako. Nakikinig sa aking guro at nag-aaral. Sa Radyo Eskwela ko po muling naranasan ang best learning experience. Sa Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela, patuloy ang eduaksyon.
Senior High School On-Air Academy. Unstoppable! Delivering you quality education amidst pandemic.
To defend school opening to October 5.
Unstoppable!
Giving you accessible learning platform anytime, anywhere.
Ang klase, whatever form it is.
Comprehensible!
Buckle up and get yourself ready.
I will repeat, then you will do it later on.
Accurate!
The sphere that includes all living things.
Today, we will be talking about rational functions.
Simplify.
This is Jaw speaking. How may I help you?
This is DepEd School Radio's Senior High School On-Air Academy.
And now, here's your new episode for ABCs of Quality Research. Your guide for the subject, Practical Research 1, ABCs of Quality Research.
Hello there, grade 11 learners! How is your day so far? I hope you are all safe and healthy at this moment while listening to Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela, where learning never ceases even in this pandemic. I am Marilet Paguyo, your teacher on air. Before we start our fun-filled learning journey today, let me give you some gentle reminders. First, make sure you are prepared mentally and physically. Next, find a comfortable place where you can hear our broadcast clearly, and make sure you have a notebook and pen with you. Don't forget to jot down notes while we discuss our lesson, okay? That's great! Now, let us have a recap of our previous lesson. Our discussion focused on collecting data through interviews. We have learned that we have to gather relevant information with intellectual honesty and that we have to observe ethical standards in gathering our data. Right, grade 11 learners? Right! Research design should match our research questions, techniques, fieldwork protocols, data coding, and final analysis. What else? Yes! We need to select the research design according to our research questions. Once you understood and crafted specific research questions, you may start planning the design that suits your study. We can start choosing the appropriate research design for our study by looking into the qualitative research designs we discussed last meeting. Can you still remember them? Nice! What are they again? Correct! They are case study, ethnography, historical study, phenomenology, and grounded theory. We also differentiated the different usage and purpose of those research designs. And I hope that you understood them well because you will need that information to develop your research design as you undergo the research process. Moving on, I know you are excited to hear the answers to the quiz we had last episode. So get your quiz notebook and let's see whether you answered them all correctly. Number 1. Recording field notes is one essential step in the observation process. What is your answer? The answer is false. Excellent. Now, number 2. Injecting an element of humor is part of establishing rapport. What is your answer? The answer is true. Wow, you are ready for the next item. You're doing well. Let's see for the question number 3. Observational protocol is a set of questions that guide you in the observation process. What is your answer? The answer is false. Number 4. Reflecting is the process of paraphrasing and restating both the feelings and words of the speaker. What is your answer? This statement is true. We are down to our last item. You should interview as many people as possible to attain breadth of views. The answer is false. Phenomenology investigates the life experiences of participants while studying the past is done through historical study. Did you get them all? I'm sure you did. And if not, that's okay. You just go over your notes and review or replay the previous episode to refresh your memory. We will now move on to our next lesson, and that is the analysis of data collected. This is the step that you are going to do once you have already collected the data needed in your study. And I believe you are now eager to learn how to do it, but hold on for a moment because we will be right back after this short reminder.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our Miss Earth Warrior 2020 from the Philippines. Hi everyone. Miss Philippines, for you, what is the biggest problem the Earth is facing today and how can we solve it? Earth is suffering because of us humans. Climate change and global warming are the biggest problems caused by our bad acts. So I think the best solution is the practice of 4 R's. Let's reduce our carbon emission. Let's reuse for conservation. Let's recycle plastic and let's rethink of our old ways. We only have one Earth, but the Earth has millions of us. Let's love it more than it loves us. Thank you. Let's take care of our Mother Earth. A message from DNR, Depot in this station.
You're still tuning in to Radyo Eskwela to Isabela with your teacher on air, Teacher Marilet. I bet you have already gone to the supermarket. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Have you noticed how goods are arranged? How are they arranged? That's right. The goods are arranged according to types of products. For instance, all detergent powder brands are found in a single aisle. This way, shoppers can easily find all the brands in one place and compare their qualities and prices. This is similar when you organize the data you gathered in qualitative research. After gathering the data, you are now ready to analyze them according to their patterns and themes. Data analysis is a process of understanding data or known facts or assumptions serving as the basis of any claims or conclusions you have about something. Your primary aim in analyzing your data is to find out if they exist to operate, to give answers to research questions you raised prior to your acts of collecting them. Please note, dear learners, that in analyzing data, you go through coding and collating. Coding is your act of using symbols like letters or words to represent arbitrary or subjective data like emotions, opinions, and attitudes. This is done to ensure secrecy or privacy of the data. Collating, on the other hand, is your way of bringing together the coded data. Collating gives the data an orderly appearance by putting them in a graph, specifically a table of responses. Is it clear, learners?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. First, you assign codes to the data. Then, you collate the codes. For instance, the use of data matrix. Data matrix is also used to name this table of responses, which I mentioned earlier. It consists of a table of cases and their associated variables. It can be a profile matrix or a proximity matrix. Can you follow, dear learners?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, what is data matrix? Correct, a table of responses. How about the two types of data matrix? Very good. The profile and proximity matrix. It goes to show that you are still with our lesson. Please sustain it, okay? Yay! Okay. Profile matrix shows measurements of variables or factors for a set of cases or respondents, while proximity matrix indicates measurements of similarities and differences between items. Then Zine in 2013 classified proximity matrix into two. These are similarity matrix and dissimilarity matrix. Similarity matrix shows how things are alike, while dissimilarity matrix shows how things are different. Remember, learners, that when you analyze or study the data that reflect the respondents' thoughts, feelings, attitudes, and views about something, it becomes subjective, and that words serve as the unit of analysis in a qualitative research. In order to interpret it, Zine and Lincoln in 1994 discussed different ways of interpreting qualitative data. Interpretation may result to a new meaning or the deepening of experience. The interpretive perspective is the type of interpretation applied on most qualitative research. It relies on the ability of the researcher to focus socially constructive realities, local generalization, interpretive resources, stocks of knowledge, intersubjectivity, practical reasoning, and ordinary talk. Maybe you would ask, how do we apply interpretive perspective in qualitative research? There are actually two ways of doing interpretative perspective. We have thematic and content analysis. Thematic analysis is recommended if the data is going to be interpreted based on the recurring patterns and if the analysis is highly inductive. While thematic analysis uses themes to come up with a data interpretation, content analysis makes use of codes and symbols by the researcher as important to the data gathering. According to Burge in 2001, content analysis may be conducted by the following steps. First, interviews and observations are conducted, and data gathered must be transcribed or written down. Next, codes are analytically developed or inductively identified in the data and affixed to sets of notes or transcriptions. And then, codes are transformed into categorical labels or themes, after which materials are sorted according to categories, identifying similar phrases, patterns, relationships, and commonalities and disparities. It is in here that you use already the data matrix. This time, sorted materials are examined to isolate meaningful patterns and processes. Finally, identified patterns are considered in the light of previous research and theories, and a set of generalizations are established. Therefore, the formed themes are compared to existing literature and studies. Yay! I hope all these things are well taken, grade 11 learners, because you are going to encounter these when analyzing the data you have gathered later on. Let me now check if you listened well by having a quick recap of the lesson. What should a researcher do after gathering the data? Correct! You are going to analyze it. What's next? That is right. You assign codes to the responses of your respondents in order to ensure confidentiality of the data gathered. After this, the data is collated by bringing it all together in an orderly manner by creating a table of responses. By the way, what do we call the table of responses? You got it right, it's the data matrix. How about its types? Very good. the profile matrix, and the proximity matrix. How about the two ways of doing interpretive perspective? Great! Interpretive perspective can be thematic or content analysis. Can you give the first thing you should do in a content analysis? Yes, data gathered or transcribed and written down. Next. Good job! Codes are analytically developed and affixed to your notes and transcriptions. After that, correct! Codes are categorically transformed to labels or themes. And then, good! Put the codes in a data matrix according to their similarities and dissimilarities. After which, nice one! Sorted data are examined for extraction and verification. Meaning, you are going to derive the most meaningful patterns from your data. And then the last step is the forms of extracted theme or recurring pattern are compared to existing literature and studies to establish a set of generalization. Very good, learners! Seems like you're really taking this lesson eagerly and seriously. Keep it up, guys! Yay! Up next, a quiz is waiting for you and I hope you're ready. Stay tuned and we will be right back.
Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you! Ngayon ba ang kaarawan mo? Hindi, hinuhugasan ko lamang ng mabuti ang aking kamay. Sabi ng DOH, 2 happy birthday songs daw upang makaiwas tayo sa COVID-19. Wow, ang galing naman! Simula ngayon, maghuhugas na ako ng kamay habang umaawit ng happy birthday. Ang inyong kalinisan at disiplina ang magliligtas sa inyo. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, DepEd at ng himpilang ito.
And we are back only here at Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela. Time for your quiz. I hope you prepared everything you need for this moment. Your quiz notebook and pen. Let's go! Are you ready? Yay! Wow, I like that spirit. This is a 5-item quiz. Here's what we are going to do. I will read twice the responses from the study conducted by Gadi Zarin Aleta in 2016. For items 1 to 3, you are going to give the corresponding pattern of the response given by the respondent by just writing the letter of your choice. The choices are A. Years of service, B. Accepting the call of the profession as vocation, and C. Continuous improvement of oneself. I repeat, the choices are letter A. Years of service, letter B. Accepting the call of the profession as vocation, and C. Continuous improvement of oneself. Are you ready? Yay! Nice! Number 1. A seasoned teacher from the high school department has shared, as a teacher, it's not the money that I count, but it's the number of priceless minutes that I spend with my students. These students are living evidence of my existence. I repeat, a seasoned teacher from the high school department has shared, as a teacher, it's not the money that I count, but it's the number of priceless minutes that I spend with my students. These students are living evidence of my existence. What is the pattern for this response? A. Years of service, B. Accepting the call of the profession as vocation, or C. Continuous improvement of oneself. Number 2. An English teacher from the elementary department said, "This is my 27th year of teaching, and still this institution will always be my first school. Memories of when I made teaching demonstration and my day of teaching, this institution is still fresh." Again, An English teacher from the elementary department said, "This is my 27th year of teaching, and still this institution will always be my first school. Memories of when I made teaching demonstration and my first day of teaching in this institution is still fresh." What pattern is appropriate for this response? A. Years of service. B. Accepting the call of the profession as vocation. Or C. Continuous improvement of oneself. We are now on number 3. One of the participants answered, "The rigors of the preparation of the lesson plan or backward design templates have tested my dedication to my profession. Indeed, it's very hard, but the school has shown its utmost respect and support to us teachers." Once again, one of the participants answered, "The rigors of the preparation of the lesson plan or backward design templates have tested my dedication to my profession. Indeed, it's very hard, but the school has shown its utmost respect and support to us teachers." The appropriate pattern for this response is letter A. Years of service. B. Accepting the call of the profession as vocation. Or letter C. Continuous improvement of oneself. For item number 4, based on the responses given in items 1 to 3, what theme is most appropriate? A. Roles of a teacher. B. Dedication. Or C. Excellence. I repeat, based on the responses given in items 1 to 3, what theme is most appropriate? A. Roles of a teacher. B. Dedication. Or C. Excellence. And the last question, number 5. What do you need to support the recurring pattern of your data analysis? A. Existing literature and studies. B. Codes. Or C. Transcriptions. I repeat, what do you need to support the recurring pattern of your data analysis? A. Existing literature and studies. B. Codes. Or C. Transcriptions. That ends our short quiz. Did you answer all the questions? Excellent! Keep your quiz notebooks and make sure to join us on the next episode where we will announce the answers to this quiz. Did you learn something new today?
Yes, ma'am.
Amazing! Will you follow the steps on analyzing your gathered data?
Yes, ma'am.
That's great! Will this help you now to infer and explain patterns and themes from your collected data?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's nice! So, this has been a challenging yet fruitful day with you learners. I have enjoyed imparting this lesson for this session with you. Don't forget to listen to our next episode for another fun and meaningful learning experience. On behalf of our scriptwriter, Ma'am Maria Tess and M. Gazingan, and the RBI production team, I am Ma'am Marlet Paguyo, your teacher on air. Stay at home and stay safe, everyone! Goodbye!
Radyo Eskwela.
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela.